is. It's Friday, y'all, and your girl is super amped. You already know how me and Fridays get down. I'm so excited about it. Happy Friday to everybody. This is the day the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. I am definitely rejoicing. I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm amped. I'm all that good stuff on this good here Friday morning. Amazing morning, Jaquez. Amazing morning, Divorce. What's good with you? Miss Joy, amazing morning to you. Blackberry, what it do? What it do? What it do? Good morning to everybody locked in on YouTube. Drop me a comment. Let me know who's on this morning on YouTube. Amazing morning to everybody locked in on Rhema Sound Radio. Text me 843-580-6550. That's the number to text me to. That's the number to text me to. Tiara, amazing morning to you. Brandon, what it do? Charles in the building. What it does. Happy Friday. It's the weekend, baby. Woo! Yes, it is. Good morning, Rosemary. Y'all already know how I love a good weekend. Okay. Good morning, Larice. Amazing morning to you. Excuse me. Happy Friday. Carmela, amazing morning to you. Miss Cynthia, amazing morning to you. I'm so amped this morning, y'all. You know, per usual, I'm probably on about 20 trillion right now. Woke up, was like, what's good, Friday? What we doing? Big things, massive things. That's what we doing in these streets. I am so amped and so ready to get back into this conversation. My overall goal is to close out these points of talking about what happens when you start believing in yourself, so that next week we can start talking about, time management with your emotions and things, how to be, balanced with that. Some of y'all hit me up yesterday and was like, why in the world did you stop? Because you was about to go in on that whole emotional time management and personal time and all that. And we're going to have a good conversation. These next 30 days, all of it's good. But these next 30 days, let me just tell y'all something. I'm here for all of it, okay? Good morning, Miss Annette. Good morning, Miss Cheryl. Amazing morning to you. Happy Friday to y'all. I'm going to try to keep my glasses on as long as possible. So y'all, stick with me. It's not y'all that be like, what's going on? It's me. I look at myself and be like, girl, you don't see all. But anywho, I'm pushed through. I'm so pumped about this conversation, and already, see, I can't take you. The feedback that I'm getting already about how helpful this series has been, and how so many people have been challenged to just be like, yo, I'm sticking with these 30 days. Good morning, Miss Marsha. I'm sticking with these 30 days because I just need to be a better person. And I'm excited about it because, like I told y'all, this is a series that's it hits very home for me. Okay, I've been there, done that. I got the t-shirt. I washed that thing a couple times. I threw that thing in the trash, and I am done with it. It will never return to my life again. And the goal of this series is to ensure that if that's where you are in your life, that you come up out of it. It's to prevent someone from going there in their lives. And then also just for people who may not have experienced a dark place in their life, that, they just start believing in themselves. There's something so powerful, y'all, when we just stop and believe in who we are and the capacity that we have, the ability that we have, how amazing we are. Point blank period. I tell y'all every single day, you are amazing. And I trust y'all looked in the mirror this morning before looked in the mirror this morning and said, woo, you're looking good, or you're looking handsome, however it applies to you. I know me, I was like, girl, don't hurt them too bad. Don't you hurt them. I had to, every word was with a clap. Because for me, that has more effect to it. And it gets me super amped. Then I turn on some music that, and I just started dancing. Anywho, let's get into it. I'm really excited about this. As I break down these 8 points, I'm getting to all 8 of them today. One thing that we've talked about so far, believing in yourself, is when you start believing in yourself, you become less judgmental. I'm just going to run the points down real quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time revisiting them. I will say up front, if you have any questions, you need to chime in, feedback, all of that good stuff. Go ahead. And yes, Miss Marsha, every single word needs a clap. Drop it in the comment section. drop it down in the comments. And for those of you who are listening on Rhema Sound Radio, just text me 843-580-6550. Y'all asked me some questions today. I know that this series has really been hitting deep for a lot of people, and y'all been really silent this week. I have been getting some feedback. I would love for y'all to ask me some questions today. Good morning, Kalisha. So let me just go ahead and give you a review so that for the sake of time, I can get these other ones out so y'all can understand, or y'all know the rest of the points of what happens when you start believing in yourself. Let me just take a moment and do a couple things. First, I have to say good morning to Danny. Good morning to Teresa. Good morning. I think I said good morning, Michelle. Good morning to everybody. Amazing morning to you. And then y'all, I'm shareable in these streets. Make sure y'all share me. Go ahead. It's Friday, feel good Friday. Good morning, Qua. Amazing morning to you. Y'all go ahead and share me on all of your social media platforms. Somebody reached out to me yesterday and was like, I'm so grateful that one of my friends shared your, they said it's a podcast, but shared your podcast with me. Every morning I watch it and I get so inspired. And then they, started sharing about how they couldn't make it in time, but they watch it and talk about how inspired they are. So y'all, come on, let's just keep on. I'm shareable. Sure. Share your morning, okay? Good morning, Lolita. Amazing morning to you, Miss Monica. Amazing morning, Miss Darlene. Let's go ahead and get into this, okay? When you start believing in yourself, a lot of things happen. One of them we've talked about is that you become less judgmental. That whole comparison spirit that you have, that whole good morning, Jay Chantel. Who else am I missing? Good morning, Octavia. I say good morning. Amazing morning, okay? That whole comparison thing, that thing is no longer on your life because, listen, you start believing in you and what you have. Good morning, Dante. What's in you, the sauce that you have, the drip that you have. You start believing in the confidence in that. Y'all already know how it go. Listen, let me take y'all back down memory lane. Hey. Back down memory lane. Let me take y'all back down memory lane. Y'all remember, I'm going to give y'all two scenarios. For some of y'all be like, oh, that was not me. Y'all remember when your parents used to drop you off at the mall, used to ask them if you could go to the mall with your friends. And before they dropped you off, you put on your best outfit because you was feeling yourself. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself. Y'all know how y'all was feeling yourself. Well, that was confidence because you believe that how you were dressed and how you were carrying yourself, that everybody was going to look at you. That the guys or the girls, however it pertained, they was going to look at you. Or, wait for it, when you got dressed for prom or a big event, an elegant event or whatever, you got dressed, nobody could tell you nothing, period. That's me every day. Listen, I ain't bring my shades in here with me, but listen, I am that person that looks in the mirror every day and be like, girl, don't hurt them. And listen, that's all because I believe in myself now. I believe in the design that God has created. And I believe that God didn't make any mistakes. Now, in time past, I sure enough thought he made a mistake. You want me here in the earth and you want me to do what? No. But I understand that God, he intentionally designed this right here. This one right here, all this sauce, all this drip, all this, humbleness, all this love, all this beauty, all this everything right here. God did that. God designed all of it and he didn't make a mistake. So when I started believing in myself, I became less judgmental. I actually became more productive. I wasn't being lazy. I wasn't, down on myself, and I no longer allow the lack of confidence that I had to produce fear in certain areas of my life. I made a decision that no, this is what's not going to happen. What's not going to happen is that I sit here and I feel sorry for myself anymore. I started believing in the person that I am, and I started trusting me, because y'all already know how it go when you don't trust yourself. Wreck yourself. That's what happened, okay? Then I started inspiring others. When you start believing in yourself, you will start to inspire others. The confidence that you have in something can cause somebody else to go out and do something. You ever thought about, if you've ever climbed a rock wall or done some type of excursion or been spontaneous about something and someone was with you that had a little bit of apprehension and you were all game for it? Let me tell you something. Your excitement, your confidence in doing that certain thing is what actually pushed that other person to go ahead and participate in it. But if there's any type of uncertainty present, that person not going along with you. So when you start believing in yourself, you start inspiring others and you start thinking more objectively. You're no longer subjective in your thinking everybody's against you. Everybody don't nobody want you to succeed. Don't nobody want you to win. They want everything for themselves. See, when I moved to Charleston, they started telling me about this thing called I think it's a crab mentality. They say, well, what they've described to me is that Charleston has like a crab mentality. And the crab mentality is like they pull each other down. Well, that's subjective thinking. That's subjective. You all about you. Well, guess what? You only gonna go as far as you can go. You can't go as far as we can go because we ain't involved, okay? Straight up and down. When you start believing in yourself, let me tell you something. Security shows up on the scene, and this is what I mean. You are unbothered. You're talking about a resting face. You will have a resting life. You hear me? Peaceful, joyful. You will live a life secure in what God has designed, and that is for you and for nobody else. But when you're insecure, you don't believe, that doesn't show up. So when you start believing in yourself, objective thinking shows up on the scene, and you no longer feel like, when people tell you something that they're coming for you. No. Nobody's coming for you. Now they could possibly be coming for you. But let me be clear with you. Because of the confidence that I have in myself, I'm going to go ahead and take that as you having a ignorance level. Okay, having a lack of understanding of who you just came at. And I'm going to let God deal with that. See, that's how we have to approach some situations. You got to have that mindset of they don't know no better. Because otherwise, you will exert unnecessary energy into unnecessary situations toward unnecessary people. Period. They don't know no better. God, they don't know. Help them, Lord. I'm done with it. That's me just about every day. Y'all, listen, people come for me. They do. They come for me for being real and keeping it all the way real, being transparent. You think I can? No. Let me be clear. This is the assignment that God gave me. So if you have a problem, let me be clear who you need to take it up with. Management. And who is management? God, my Father. Because let me be clear with you. I'm not here to please man. I'm here to please God through the assignment that he has given me. And part of that is being transparent. So you can come this way all you want to. Oh, you don't know no better. You don't hurt yourself. When you start believing in yourself, you have the understanding that, listen, everybody is not against me. You start being objective in how you think. You start making adjustments in your life to do better. Better will be present in your life the moment you start believing in yourself. Let me tell you, your mind is powerful. When you start thinking a certain thing, that thing is that's what it is. Think about this. Remember when you used to lie? I remember the time I told them lies. I remember the time I used to lie. Girl, remember the time? Oh, yeah. Remember that time you used to lie? Let me tell you something. Boy, that lie became so convincing to you because you were locked into it. Your mind was, I have created this whole situation, this whole thing on my mind, and I believe it even though it's a lie because I've painted this picture on the canvas of my imagination. Don't matter if it really didn't happen. The fact of the matter is I painted this picture and this is how I believe. Well, listen, if all you do is take the things that you used to do negatively and work them positively, let me tell you, you will be an expert in some areas, okay? Let me tell you, the whole talking and all of that, I used to do that back in the day, and I used to do it for negative things. Now I do it for positive. When I started believing in myself, I started looking at those things and turning it around. And listen, just like when you used to lie and used to have that thing on your mind to be like, yo, so-and-so did do that. You know good and well they ain't do that. But it's locked into your mind. Well, imagine if you just take a positive thought and lock that thing in your mind that, no, God wants me to succeed. God has given me everything that I need to succeed. People are not working against me. I win in every situation of my life. God will never leave me. God will never allow me to fail. God is my protector. My mind flows with the wisdom of God. God's love is all around me. His favor surrounds me like a shield. Goodness and mercy follows me all the days of my life. You just remind yourself of things and lock it in your mind. When you start believing in yourself, watch what happens. And then you're going to start inspiring others. Your objective thinking invites other people into positive situations and positive outcomes in your life. You can produce positive incomes by your objective thinking. Subjective, negative. Objective, positive. Open. Bigger picture. Let me tell you something. God, the God we serve, ain't nothing small about him, okay? He owns everything. How can a person that owns everything be little? Come on now, he do big things. He's a big person. Listen, that's my God, okay? And let me be clear with you. When you start thinking, when you are subjective in your thinking, like when you're in dark moments of your life, or when you're unhappy with things in your life, or you're just not happy, period. You start being subjective in your thinking and you start closing yourself into small boxes. Well, that ain't God. How God, you know how people say peg holes. Let me just say, he don't fit. He don't fit in that box. Not my God. No. He is broad. He is big. He is open. He has a big God. Okay. So can we please get subjective in our thinking? When we start believing in ourselves, we open our minds up to things that, let me tell you something, that the Bible says eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, minds have not conceived. That's the type of situation that God produces miracles in. That's the type of environment that's conducive for him to show up on the scene. So let me tell you something. Start believing in yourself so that your objective situation can invite God in and God can show up and show out. Period. Now, the other thing that happens, because I think that's where I think that's where I ended up yesterday. I stopped off yesterday and I'm looking at my notes. When you start believing in yourself, your confidence level, it increases. And what starts happening is you start producing confidence in other people. You start inspiring them to say, hey, no, listen, you can do this. When you start believing in yourself, you increase the persistence in your life. Let me be very clear with you. There's a storm brewing out there with all of our names on it. I'm not being negative. I'm not wishing nothing bad on nobody. I'm not declaring nothing evil. And the Bible says that, okay, y'all? This everyday living that we're in is preparation for whatever God has set up. But those storms are meant for elevation and promotion. It demonstrates to God how he can trust us in certain areas. And because there's storms brewing out there with our name on it, we have to be persistent in what we do. I recall during those dark moments in my time of depression where I was very persistent about staying away from people. I wanted to make sure that I was as isolated as possible because I needed to protect, check this out, I made it up in my mind that me protecting that dark place, that moment of isolation, was the security that I had from feeling like people were coming against me or people were not good for me and this and that. I was persistent in areas. Well, where I missed it at was the step of being objective in my thinking and saying, hey, listen, even in my dark moments, hope showed itself. Check this out. Hope showed itself in every facet of my darkness. But I wasn't strong enough to even see it. I didn't surround myself with people where I could see it. I didn't involve people in my life that would help me see those pictures. I was by myself. Let me tell you something. When you start believing in yourself, you start trusting your ability to figure things out and keep going. You start trusting in your sensitivity to God. See, let me be clear with you. I didn't trust myself in a lot of areas. I didn't. But the moment I made up in my mind that I was going to believe in myself, and I said, listen, I'm going to give all this over to God because I just don't have time. I'm tired. I'm drained. I look a hot mess. I don't feel valued. I'm just over it. Well, I started to increase in my ability to believe that this would happen. Believe. Check this out. I started saying things like, this ain't supposed to be like this. This gotta let up. Ain't no way in the world every single day is supposed to be a bad day. Like there's no glimmer of hope nowhere. When I started believing in myself, I started trusting my ability to keep going. If I was gonna keep going in my times of darkness, then why not keep going to see the light? Why not keep going for a breakthrough? Why not just keep it going and trust God? Do something that I hadn't done before. So when I started believing in myself, I started seeing true confidence show up on the scene. And I started having expectation that God was going to show up and show out. And I knew in that moment that, even though this storm that's been brewing with my name on it, that was out there for so long, has shown itself to be a natural manifestation in my life. I know that there's strength in me to get through this. I know without a shadow of a doubt that God is going to help me, because there's no way that he designed me. There's no way that he loves me like this. I have got to believe that I can change my thinking and my situation will change. That's where I was. Without knowing it, I started speaking positive affirmations over my life, not knowing that it was starting to transform my whole thinking, and it started to transform my everyday living and my attitude. I didn't even realize it. I just knew that I started believing in myself. Like, Winnie, you have got to do this because nobody else can do it for you. You've depended on so many other people for so long. Well, when are you going to depend on yourself? See, that's what we do. We misappropriate dependence. And then we allow some people to tell us that it's wrong. We shouldn't depend on people. Let me tell you something, okay? You take it how you want to take it. Do it how you want to do it. This is how I work it. I have some people that I depend on. Point blank, period. I can't do this out here on my own. Now, let me be clear with you. I don't ever put them in the position of God. You will never do God's job in my life. But naturally, there are some people that I have to depend on. They are called my accountability. See, there's areas that I'm weak in. And if for a second, if for a second I allow the thought of thinking, I don't have to have people in my life that I need to depend on. I'm saying I can do this by myself, and I cannot, y'all. I have areas of weakness that I've opened up to tell people like, I need help in. You telling somebody you need help in a certain area is not saying that you're weak. In actuality, it's saying that you're strong. You're strong enough to recognize that, I'm deficient of something in this area, but you're strong. So I need your strength to show up on the scene to strengthen my weakness, and together we're going to be amazing. Period. You don't allow nobody to tell you that dependence ain't necessary. That ain't true. That is not true. Let me be very clear. I saw dependence all up and through the Bible. If you didn't see it, I'm going to describe it to you. Jesus had disciples. All of them did something different. Do you think for a second God didn't need their gifts, their talents, their abilities to show up for Jesus? Come on now. Everybody in the Bible has somebody they needed to depend on. And if in any dark moment, let me tell you something. You don't have anybody to depend on, because that's what it feels like. It feels like you out there by yourself. Ain't nobody for you. But it's because you've discounted the one voice that God has sent to you. You discounted the person that you're hearing say, no, come on, man. That's your person. So, listen. When I started believing on myself, I started taking that dependence off of me. And I started looking for strength in other areas. I'm very clear in understanding that the things that I've gone through, my transparency with it, situations in my life, the faith that I have, they are extensions for other people. They strengthen other people, encourage and motivate. I understand all of that. Well, if I kept it in, how could it do any of that? If I kept it to myself, how could it fulfill its purpose? Sometimes we allow our personal situations to hold up the progress and the purpose for other people. We do. There were people who were sent to my life a long time ago when I was in that moment. And I didn't allow the purpose for those people in my life to be fulfilled because I was so isolated. I was so locked in and saying, nah, man, I can do this on my own. Them people had a purpose for showing up on the scene. They didn't just show up for no reason. They didn't. And because I was so locked into my personal self and my personal feelings and how I looked at things, I didn't allow the assignment of those people to be fulfilled in my life. There are people that are assigned to our lives, y'all. I tell y'all that almost every day. Our lives have people attached to it. Y'all, you got to start believing in yourself and trusting who God is, the character that he has and who he's shown himself to be. Everybody's not against us. Some people are sent to us. The next thing that happens when you start believing in yourself is you start attracting miracles. Let me tell you something. When you start to begin to expect the best for your life, you'll start seeing things align in your life. Let me tell you, when I made up in my mind that all this was going to be done and I started believing in myself, every day wasn't peaches and cream. It was not. But it was better than it had been. Days where I spent 8 hours in the house by myself in dark rooms with dark curtains, like the blackout curtains, and no TV on and just sitting in the room. Instead of 8 hours, I saw myself sitting in there for 5 hours. Let me be clear with you now. Let me be very clear. Celebrate all your small moments. Don't discount it. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, well, I mean, that's not much better. It don't matter if it's much or it's little, it's better. Positive things start attracting themselves to me because I made up in my mind that, I'm moving toward being better. Like I'm believing in myself that this is not the place that I'm supposed to be. I'm believing in myself that this isn't what's naturally supposed to manifest in my life or be the result of what's manifested in my life. Instead, I'm going to let this thing be a testimony. I'm going to go ahead and let this situation right here be a situation that I can use to encourage other people. Well, let me tell you that. Let me tell you something, okay? About your situation encouraging other people. You ready? Because see, sometimes we like to be like, oh, I'm going to testify and I'm going to this and that. Victory is the component that's necessary for your testimony. You got to tell people how you got out of that thing. And in order for you to get out of that thing, you got to believe in yourself. You have got to trust God. You have got to appropriate your faith. You have got to believe that God exists and that he will respond to you. Let me be very clear. Do you see, we be out here in these streets talking about, oh, let me share my testimony. And then at the end of it, you want to be like, and I'll tell you what happens later. Well, how is that a testimony? You're really just sharing your story. You're really just telling somebody a situation that you got going on right now. Can we please be witnesses? Witnesses, y'all. That's what God has called us to be, not storytellers. Witnesses. I'll share my story now, but I'm going to be a witness through my testimony, through my transparency. I'm going to be a witness to tell you how God has brought me out of darkness divinely, how the hand of God has moved in my life, how miracles are attracted to my life because I started believing in myself, how my thoughts have aligned and now they're thinking pure things and things that are godly, how somebody showed up on the scene and blessed me in a supernatural way when I wasn't expecting it, all because I committed to live a life that glorifies God. I'm going to be a witness to the end result. That's what I'm going to do. And then, y'all, to close it out, what happens when you start believing in yourself is you become more disciplined. You start setting standards for your life. When I came out of that time of depression, y'all, let me tell you something. I know where it started at. I know what the root of it was. And I said it will never happen again. So what I can do naturally, I do. And I do it every single day to prevent that thing from showing up in my life again. You will not revisit and this space be empty. See, the Bible tells us when you get rid of negative things in your life, if you don't fill it with something positive, when that negative thing come back and visit you and find it empty, it's going to move right back in. The Bible tells us that. Well, let me be very clear with you. The negative things that are no longer a part of my life will not find that space empty when they return. You can show up all you want to. Shut the deuces. We've got to get to a place, y'all, of believing in ourselves and understanding that, this dope person that God made, this amazingness that God put in me is so unique. And it's such a gift. And without me fulfilling its purpose, is it going to be that gift? Like, I'm going to believe in myself to the point that no matter what, people will experience the fullness of God through my life. I'm so grateful to God for pulling me out of those dark moments. I'm so grateful to God that anxiety is not a part of my life. The Bible says be anxious for nothing. So I already know that's not of God. I'm so grateful to God that the low self-esteem that I had is no longer present in my life. Your girl loves herself some her and knows she look good. I know I'm the bomb.com. No cosigner needed. Listen, for any person that has been watching this week, or maybe even just watching now, and you've been in a dark place, or you've been depressed, or you've had anxiety issues or identity issues of not knowing who you are or if you belong, or anybody believing in you, have enough strength today. Let me encourage you to have enough strength to believe in yourself. Appropriate that thing that you do when you go to work. You know how when you get an assignment at work and other people, they can do it, but they may not do it right. So you'll be like, oh man, I'm just going to do it myself, because if they do it, then I might have to go back and redo it. So I'm just going to save myself the time and do it myself. Can you do that for your life? Can you start believing in you? Can you start saying, I'm going to take the first step of training so that I can show everybody else how to do it? See, I don't believe that people could believe in me more than I could believe in myself if I didn't show that type of confidence. I had to show people how to believe in me. I had to show people that my life is worth living. I had to show people that God didn't make a mistake through the things that I was doing and allowing his light to shine through my life. I had to take the things that I was willing to do for the world and do it for the kingdom. And y'all, please believe in yourself. Just take a second and think about like the things that you used to do or the things that you do for other people. Do it for yourself. You're worth it. You're so priceless. You're so valuable. And God loves you so much. He really does. That's it for this morning, y'all. I am over my time. Before I sign off for the day and go into prayer, there are some people that I do need to say good morning to. Mr. Page, good morning to you with your handsome self. Good morning, Miss Gail, Miss Maritha, amazing morning to you. Cuz, Shamanda, amazing morning to you. Miss Fanny, amazing morning. Kara, good morning to you. Elenda, amazing morning to you. Miss Annette, good morning. Shauna, my sister, amazing morning to you. Miss Cynthia, great morning to you. Carmela, you are the best. I appreciate you. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Next week, we're going to start getting into some things. I may go with emotional time management. I got to look at it. I got to pray about it, because I've asked y'all to stick with me for 30 days. And let me tell you something. That wasn't me. Lord, that had to be the Spirit of God that when that came out, because your girl was about to go on a spring break, okay? So I'm going to pray about it. I'm saying, without God telling me right now in this very moment that we're going to talk about emotional management. But, that could very well change. But just know for the next 30 days, whatever we talk about is going to be encouraging moments where you as a person are strengthened. There's something so amazing when we start believing in ourselves. When I start thinking about my life and start believing in when I started believing in myself, it reminds me of David in the Bible before he went to fight Goliath, and he started running down his resume to tell them, this is what I've done. And you may not have seen it, but I believe in myself enough to know that because I've done this and because I've done that, that I can beat this giant. And he had to sell himself to somebody who didn't believe in him, but he believed in himself enough. Y'all, I am challenging you, encouraging you to believe in yourself enough so you have a resume to run down to people even when they don't believe in you, and you don't take it and go into a dark moment of isolation to say, man, nobody believes in me and I didn't get a chance, or the people are against me. They're not. We win in every situation of our lives. And I'm challenging every last one of you to just take a second and say, you know what? I believe in myself. Even if nobody else does it, I know that God didn't make mistakes. I know that God designed my life to be a blessing to a bunch of people. And in order for me to do that, I might have to strike the match. I might have to be the one that believes in myself to help other people see just how valuable I am. And I don't mind being it. I don't mind being a witness so that others can be a witness. Check this out. See, that's what we got to be with our lives. When we're out here being witnesses, we sometimes have to be a witness to what God is doing in our lives to produce situations where other people can be a witness to say, now that's God right there. See, we're allowing an opportunity for somebody else to fulfill what they're supposed to be doing in the earth through our obedience, which is believing in ourselves. Just believe in yourself, y'all. You are an amazing person that can do amazing things, that God's hand is on. And I'm going to tell you something. God has equipped you with everything that you need for victory in your life. You just got to believe that God will do it. Don't allow natural things to overtake you. Don't allow the things that you see. The Bible tells us those things are temporal. Don't allow the things that you see with your natural eyes to cause fear to encroach in your life, or cause fear or anything else to take over your life. Don't allow it. Remind your life that, let me be clear. God runs all this. That's what it is. I got to get out of here. God, my prayer is, as we close out for this weekend and with our commitment of 30 days of being better and believing in ourselves and building our esteem, tearing down walls of darkness, God, breaking the spirit of anxiety out of our lives and identifying who we are through you, who you designed us to be. That, God, you continue to strengthen us, continue to show us our purpose, God, continue to love on us and continue to protect us. God, as we go through this weekend, I say a special prayer for every person who needs peace in their mind. God, slow their mind down, give them peace, show up on the scene and create thoughts of harmonious love and divine thinking. Flood their minds with creative insight and wisdom that only comes from you. That's my request, God, and it's in your son Jesus' name I pray. Amen. I got to get out of here. I am over my time. Thank y'all so very much for kicking it with me this morning. Monday morning, I'll be back. And you know what? I may do a little bit of snippets and things in the morning, since it's the 30 days and I asked y'all to sit with me. I may do a motivational moment. I may. That's a may, because y'all know Saturdays your girl sleeps in because it's the weekend, baby. Oh, yes, it is. So I may do that. And simply because, I know what it means to believe in yourself. And I know the impact that you will not only have in your life, but on the lives of other people. And everything will be better because you believe in yourself. I got to get out of here. Thank y'all so very much for making my day. It definitely would not be the same without you. Hey, y'all going to have an amazing, amazing weekend. Oh, I put a story up on my Facebook and on my Instagram. I want y'all to ask me some questions today. I opened it up. Y'all can ask me questions. Ask away. I am ready to answer. Y'all can even ask personal questions. It's all good. But ask me a question. Hit it over to my social media. I look forward to kicking it with y'all Monday morning. If I don't come on this weekend, 8 a.m. right here. We're continuing our 30 days, and I'm excited about it. Hey, listen, Rhema Sound Radio, y'all are the bomb.com. For those of you who have not subscribed to my YouTube divorce, I'm working on it. But for those of you who have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure y'all subscribe. Get my numbers up. Get the numbers up. Get the numbers up. Hey, get the number. Okay, I got to get out of here. Listen, y'all have a jam out weekend. As always, have an amazing, amazing day and much love.